In 2025, the U.S. Congress introduced a regulatory bill targeting stablecoins. The core requirement? Any U.S.-issued dollar-backed stablecoin must be fully backed by high-quality, highly liquid assets, with U.S. Treasury bonds explicitly listed as a preferred reserve asset. In simple terms, if a company wants to legally issue a dollar stablecoin in the U.S., it must purchase Treasury bonds to back that digital currency. At first glance, this sounds like a common-sense safeguard, ensuring stablecoin issuers don't misuse funds or create risk with insufficient backing. But quickly, two dominant interpretations emerged. Some see it as a way for the U.S. government to expand its base of Treasury buyers by bringing stablecoin issuers into the fold. Others interpret it as an attempt to reinforce the dollar's dominance in the crypto ecosystem. Both takes seem reasonable, but they miss a deeper truth. This bill isn't about defending the dollar's dominance. It's about making that dominance work harder for the benefit of U.S. fiscal and regulatory power. Let's break down the hidden fiscal logic behind the bill. 1. The market continues to trust the U.S. dollar and prefers it as a stablecoin benchmark. 2. Businesses respond by issuing dollar-based stablecoins to meet that demand. 3. The law now requires stablecoin issuers to hold treasuries as reserves. 4. Issuers must buy these treasuries using real funds. And 5. The U.S. Treasury gains a new, passive, and compliant class of bondholders. In effect, the bill turns trust in the dollar into direct financial support for U.S. debt. It monetizes dollar supremacy through regulation. The real trick here is that the U.S. doesn't need to force anyone to buy its debt directly. It lets the dollar's popularity do the work. The regulation simply ensures that this popularity flows through channels beneficial to the Treasury. But this logic only holds as long as the world continues to prefer dollars. That's the weak link. Stablecoins need to be backed by dollars only if people want dollar stablecoins. And, while the dollar is still king today, that status is no longer as secure as it once was. Countries are building alternatives. Cross-border trade deals now sometimes skip the dollar altogether. Non-dollar stablecoins, backed by the euro, yuan, or even commodity baskets, are gaining traction. If the market shifts away from dollar-backed stablecoins, the law's entire mechanism collapses. No demand for dollar stablecoins means no new demand for treasuries. So this bill is not a structural solution. It's a fiscal strategy riding on momentum. It leverages the current dominance of the dollar but does nothing to guarantee that dominance lasts. Let's be clear, this bill is not a bet that the crypto market will explode and save the U.S. bond market. The crypto stablecoin market is tiny, only about $200 billion in size compared to over $34 trillion in total U.S. national debt. Even full participation from the stablecoin sector would barely move the needle. So what's the real game here? It's not about scale, it's about control. Stablecoins are slippery. They flow easily across borders, evade traditional banking controls, and can facilitate everything from money laundering to capital flight. For regulators, this isn't just a tech problem, it's a sovereignty problem. If people can trade and save in dollars without going through the U.S. financial system, America loses grip on one of its greatest sources of global power. This bill is a statement: if you want to use the dollar, even in crypto, you play by American rules. And even if your project is small or experimental or barely used, you still have to comply. This is about path control, not outcome control. The goal isn't for you to succeed. The goal is to ensure that if you do succeed, you succeed inside the system. Let's put the numbers in perspective. The dollar stablecoin market is worth roughly $200 billion. The U.S. national debt is over $34 trillion. Even if all stablecoin reserves were held in treasuries, that's just 0.6% of total debt. From a fiscal standpoint, this isn't even a rounding error. But that's not the point. The point is symbolic and strategic. It establishes a legal precedent that only U.S.-approved stablecoins are considered legitimate extensions of the dollar. It locks in compliance as the price of market access. It signals to other nations and regulators that the US is planting its flag in crypto finance. This is not about growth, it's about staking a claim. We're seeing similar moves elsewhere. In 2024, Hong Kong announced new regulatory guidelines for Hong Kong dollar stablecoins. The funny thing? Almost no one needs or uses a Hong Kong dollar stablecoin, so why pass the regulation? Well, to showcase Hong Kong's innovation in digital finance, to prepare for a future RMB-based stablecoin ecosystem, and to assert regulatory independence and financial sovereignty. Like the United States bill, this wasn't about fixing a current problem, it was about preparing the battlefield for future control. The United States Stablecoin Bill is not a signal that lawmakers believe in the bright future of crypto. It's a hedge, a fence, a trap even. Its message is clear. Even if crypto stays small, it must serve United States interests. Even if it grows, its growth must be on our terms. This is not economic optimism, it's regulatory pessimism. It's not about expanding markets, it's about boxing them in. To put it plainly, this bill is not meant to help the dollar, it's meant to make sure the dollar keeps helping the United States government. It's not a bet on the future, it's a control mechanism for whatever future might come.